If you're a postpartum mom struggling to lose weight, even if you're eating healthy, this is how I was able to lose weight naturally without counting calories or having a very restrictive diet. It turns out that the secret was healing my gut, reducing the inflammation that was in my body, and eating real food. People always think that in order to get healthier, you have to work out a lot or have a calorie deficit. I'm here to tell you that it's actually a lot simpler than that. When I was having gut issues, I naturally turned to my mom, who has a master's in nutrition and is now a certified functional nutritionist. She was able to help me figure out what was going on with my health and get me on a path to healing. When I met my husband, he would have really stinky farts, he would have diarrhea often, and he thought there was something wrong with him. He thought I have some kind of illness, there's just something wrong with me. He started to eat gluten and dairy free because of my mom and her influence on my life. He started to feel better. He could not believe that the food had such an impact. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can naturally lose weight postpartum and how to heal your gut so that the weight will fall off naturally. When people are focused on losing weight postpartum, they're thinking about the moment right now. I need to take a certain pill, eat less, go to the gym more. They're not really thinking about the root cause or what is actually the issue. I'm going to go back 10 years when I was 20 years old, fresh out of college. I was eating terribly. I was partying all the time, drinking a lot of alcohol, pizza, macaroni and cheese, all these bready types of food. I was constantly needing to take naps. I was constantly exhausted. I had brain fog, a lot of gut issues, like I was having constipation and bloody stools. That's when it got really bad. I was having a lot of heartburn. At that point, that's when I decided it was time to figure out what was wrong. My mom suggested I go see a naturopath and get some tests done. So I went to the naturopath. I did a food sensitivity test like they suggested. Sure enough, I had a bunch of things coming up that were causing inflammation that my body was reacting to. Things like gluten, dairy, even eggs. My body was not reacting well to a lot of foods. My gut needed to be healed. I came home crying that night because I felt like I literally could not eat anything. I remember just feeling so overwhelmed. So once I had the results from my tests, my mom took it upon herself to get educated more in the holistic side of health. As soon as I started removing those foods and eating better, my body was able to heal naturally. I had gained about 20 pounds at college, maybe more. I was pretty chubby at the time. That weight just naturally fell off. I never was intentionally thinking, oh, I need to exercise more. I need to cut calories. I need to count every little macro or micro that I'm eating, try to control what I was eating or putting in my body. Because of the way that I had changed my eating patterns and I had stopped drinking as much alcohol and sugar, I noticed a huge change in my energy levels, in my sleep. I noticed a huge change in my digestion, no more acid reflux, and my body just naturally started to lean out. That's just a little backstory about how I started down the path of healing my gut and the results that it has brought me 10 years later. We are choosing 3 times a day what to put in our body. Those choices that we make are either healing our body or harming our body. It just makes me realize that you need to create a lifestyle. I've been able to keep this lifestyle up for 10 years. You have to find something that is doable and that is a long-term solution. So I've really been passionate about finding alternatives to foods that I love. A common misconception, I think, is that when you start giving up these foods that you're missing out. But honestly, the more you start to change the way that you're eating, the less you crave junk food and the less you crave sugar, you can actually find a lot of amazing alternatives. The emphasis should always just be on eating real food. I'm sure you have heard a lot about eating gluten and dairy free. A lot of people are starting to talk about it. You might be wondering why. Why are so many people reacting to this? Let's get into it. Gluten and dairy are some of the most common food sensitivities. The way that wheat is now being processed in the US is completely different from how it was decades ago. A lot of farmers are being forced to use the chemical glyphosate or Roundup, which is a chemical that is basically a weed killer. You can buy this at places like Home Depot, and they're spraying that on our food. We are indirectly eating Roundup on our gluten, which is why so many people are having gut health issues. My friend is a nurse and she told me that the amount of people coming in with stomach pain and stomach issues she has never seen before. Believe it, because they are putting chemicals on our food in order to have a larger crop. This is not only for wheat, this goes for a lot lot of foods that are not organic. Not only that, but the wheat today is highly processed and it's stripped of a lot of the nutrients, making it harder for people to digest. Let's get into dairy now. Why are so many people reacting to dairy? Most dairy today that are being fed diets that are not necessarily healthy. A lot of the cows also are being given antibiotics. They also produce milk with A1 casein, which is the protein that many people struggle to digest. And that is why a lot of people have acne breakouts, have stomach issues like diarrhea, bloating, constipation, and mucus buildup. Why I'm telling you all of this, it's because of all these choices that I've been making for the last 10 years that I was able to lose my postpartum weight so fast. Honestly, it wasn't something I really even cared about. So many people postpartum were saying, oh my gosh, you look so good. I can't believe you had a baby a week ago. I was thinking, I don't really care how good I look. I went through a lot more like mental issues at that time, but I do know that I was able to lose the weight really fast with very little effort, even without working out at all. Just showed me what an impact that diet really has on our bodies. It all starts in your gut. A lot of people have dysregulated hormones, fatigue, brain fog, acne. It's all your body telling you that something in your gut is not right. We need to get back to eating real foods. As soon as we do, our body can naturally begin to heal. I'm just here to remind you that you don't need to count calories or have a crazy diet. It does not need to take 10 years. I'm just saying that I've been able to maintain this for 10 years. Even if you start today, you're gonna start to see results within the next month just by making healthier choices. By eating whole and unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, protein, organic and pasture-raised meats and eggs. Prioritize gut healing foods such as bone broth, collagen, fermented foods. Another way to focus on healing your gut and lower inflammation in your body is to cut out seed oils like canola oil and replace those with things like coconut oil, ghee, olive oil. Finally, drink more water. Get rid of your sugary drinks, get rid of soda, replace it with sparkling water. Always check your drink for sugars, and even if it says fat-free or sugar-free, be sure to check your labels, because a lot of times these things that say sugar-free or fat-free, it can be deceptive. They are using chemicals in replace of sugar to make that thing sweet. Those chemicals are also not good for your body, and they're going to create inflammation in your body, which leads to weight gain, fatigue, and illness eventually. Be careful with what you're drinking. Always drink water, add some lemon to it. It's really going to help heal your gut and reduce inflammation in your body. I don't know about you, but I love cheese. That was really hard for me to give up. I want to share with all my cheese lovers some of my favorite swaps for cheese. You don't have to give up cheese altogether. It's just choosing cheeses that your body can digest easier. A great yogurt alternative is sheep's milk cheese. It's a different kind of protein, so it's not A1, but it's A2, which a lot more people can digest. It's not a one size fits all, but these are things for you to try. Coconut milk yogurt, they have some great options. We love Coco June. Aged cheeses are great, such as Parmesan or Manchego cheese, which is a sheep's milk cheese. You can also try goat cheese. A lot of these from other animals have less of the lactose in it, and they have A2 protein versus A1 protein, which is easier for some people to digest. By the end of this video, I really hope that I can get you thinking more about what you're putting in your body and how it affects weight gain, because you can't expect that you're choosing to eat things 3 times a day and it has no impact on your health whatsoever, because it does. One of the things that I hope you can be empowered to do is read your labels. I think if you don't get anything from this video, at least get that, because it will make you more aware of what you're choosing to put in your body every day. If you were to see the things that you're putting in your body when you choose to eat fast food, you just can't even pronounce half the stuff and you have no clue what it is that you're eating. Always check your labels, even if you think something is healthy, because a lot of times I've gone to the store and I've been like, oh, this says natural. Even a lot of things that say natural, companies can use those words as marketing because it doesn't really mean anything. Versus organic, you have to have certification to have the organic label on your product. Whereas companies can say natural, but still use all kinds of unnatural ingredients in their product. product. So always read your label, and if there's something that you have no clue what it is, you probably should not be putting it in your body. A lot of companies will say natural flavoring or natural flavors. They are technically allowed to use that label and not tell you what that actually is. We don't understand what that means as consumers. What did they use to create that natural flavor? Probably a chemical of some kind. If this is your first time with getting introduced to trying to eat better, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. It can be overwhelming when you first start because it seems like such a huge change that you have to make and such a huge adjustment. I felt the same way as you. I remember coming home crying because I thought there was nothing to eat. Here I am 10 years later, still eating this way. I couldn't feel better. I feel so healthy. I had a great natural birth. I snapped right back into shape without even having to exercise. Even though I haven't been able to sleep that much the last year with my baby, I still have had pretty great energy levels and I don't have complaints of fatigue or bloating. So I just want to encourage you that this is doable and it's so worth it. Yes, you might have to change your lifestyle a little bit, but I promise that once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. You don't have to say goodbye to gluten and dairy altogether forever. Avoid those two things. Then after 30 days, you can try to start bringing things back in slowly and see the difference, because right now you might just be so used to the way that you feel in your body that you can't even tell what is actually going on. A lot of times when you take these foods out, you start to feel so much different and better that when you add them back in, you can tell right away, ooh, this gave me a headache, or oh man, I feel so bloated. Another final reminder is that this isn't about restrictive eating. It's more about learning our body and how we react to different foods. I hope this video could be encouraging for you and actually show you that weight loss does not have to be some complicated thing. I know there's a lot of information on weight loss. I want to encourage you that it's actually easy to lose weight when you start eating less processed food, focus on real food, healing your gut and reducing inflammation, and you will feel so much better and the weight will naturally just fall off. Now, 10 years into this diet, I have slowly been able to add in things like sourdough bread because now my gut is healed. I can tolerate these things more. And through this process, you're gonna lose so much weight and you won't even have to try. From the last almost year and a half of barely being able to work out just because my baby's sleep schedule is not very good, I have realized what an impact that food has. I would say that weight loss is 80% related to food, if not 90%. And then the other 10% is just like toning your muscles and becoming like tighter. Losing weight is pretty much all tied to what you're eating. I want you guys to be able to work smarter and not harder. If you found this video helpful in any way, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe and let me know what your biggest takeaway from this video is. If this is something that you're interested in and you're interested in healing your gut and improving your health, check out the link below. I'm going to share some more information about my mom's program that's focused on helping you lose weight and feel better. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.